Yo, what's up today? I just want to talk a little bit about something I saw on Twitter that was so cool recently. The creativity of people just never ceases to amaze me. And there's so much potential out in the world for things that could happen. Specifically, when it comes to video games. There is this UI designer who works for EA, DICE. I think it's called Gav Makes Games. I'll have his Twitter linked in this post. But I saw him post a concept art for a game that isn't official, but he really took the time to create the menus and the UI to make it look like a real game and what it could potentially look like. And after seeing it, I want it so badly. I'm talking about The Mandalorian. If you have watched that Star Wars TV show, it to me is the best modern Star Wars that you can get. It's such a good story, with Din Djarin and little fucking Grogu, the baby Yoda. It's such a good show. And I'm just that is the perfect show to turn into a video game. They've been turning some video games into shows, but they need to turn that show into a video game. And I think that old Gav thought the exact same thing. He said, you know what? I'm going to take some precious time out of my life and do something cool. And this game looks so fucking sick. I mean, obviously it's not official, like I said, but it could happen. After seeing this and seeing the results of what people think after it's been mocked up, obviously people want to play this shit. And they're coming out with this new Star Wars game where you're I think not a bounty hunter, but some type of just not a Jedi, whatever the fuck else it would be. I don't know, but it's some girl main character. It looks amazing. The game looks fucking sick. I don't even remember what it's called, but it's a new Star Wars game coming out. However, it's not The Mandalorian. I mean, just imagine they get Pedro Pascal to voice The Mandalorian, and it's exactly like the show, except for it's a game, and it's an open world game, and you can fucking fly your aircraft to different planets. You got Grogu following you around everywhere in his little floating orb thing. It just would be so sick. And not only that, but Unreal Engine 5 is just insane. Games look so photorealistic now. And as you'll see in these screenshots for the Mandalorian concept, it just looks amazing. I mean, just everything looks so good in this. I love, the main menu even. Every little bit is just so creative. It makes me want the game so bad. I know there's a new Star Wars show coming out that's kind of another spin-off of The Mandalorian. Obviously, we had Boba Fett. Then we got Obi-Wan, which that wasn't really a spin-off. I think the next one, I don't want to pronounce this wrong, but Ahsoka Tano, we'll just say that. The girl who was in Clerks is playing her. I forget her name. I forget that bitch's name. What was her name? Rosario Dawson, there we go. She's playing basically a Jedi, and she's in some of The Mandalorian, but she's getting her own show. And it's just going to be those could all be DLCs for The Mandalorian. Imagine a Boba Fett DLC. Imagine a Ahsoka Tano DLC. I mean, their potential here is huge, especially if you can party up and play co-op. Not necessarily co-op, but kind of like Dragon Age or Mass Effect, BioWare style, how you have squad mates that follow you around. Maybe you could switch to them. Maybe they're just, people you give commands to. But just walking around a gigantic open world of The Mandalorian as Din Djarin, Grogu, and then having a couple of other cool people. There's so many cool people from that show. Maybe one of the droids, the battle droid. They could do everything you've seen in the show and put it into the game, and it would sell. It might be the number one game if they didn't fuck it up. I know Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Star Wars Jedi Survivor, those weren't the most popular games ever, but they're very well received. I still think there's yet to be the Star Wars game that's the Star Wars game that everybody remembers forever. Because they kind of still think of Knights of the Old Republic, that old-ass RPG, as the best Star Wars game ever. A lot of people think that. It's a cool game, and I played it late and had some fun with it. But it's too old now. I'm sorry, I'm not going back and playing that. They could just do so much better. And they're supposed to be remaking Knights of the Old Republic, but it just keeps getting delayed, and who knows how long that's going to fucking take. Anyways, The Mandalorian video game would be so sick. I like how dude just popped up right next to me. Uh, Shout out to the guy who designed these concepts, because it's got me really wanting a game like that now. And maybe we'll get it. Not anytime soon, I don't think. I believe we just finished season 3 of The Mandalorian. It might have been 4. I can't remember really. I just know I've watched all of it. Can't wait for more. But if they, say finish the show up eventually, maybe season 6 or something crazy like that, and then they're like, okay, now that the show's over, we're coming out with a video game, and everyone's gonna love it. It's gonna bring it back in the news, and then 10 years later they'll reboot it or something. The process with shows and movies and shit. They remake them all the time. They make as much money off of the fucking something as they can, and they just seem to never run out of ideas. Especially as we progress further into a digital age, AI is going to come up with the ideas for us. AI might even execute the ideas, but it's just unlimited possibilities. And for me, out of a lot of the concepts that I've seen of potential games, The Mandalorian is at the top of my wow, I want to play that list, and I think it would be sick. But that's basically all I want to talk about. Is if you haven't seen these concept images, be sure to scroll down on this post. I'll have the screenshots, and you can see there's only 4, maybe 5 of them, and it's obviously not a full game that you can play or anything. Maybe the developer can play it a little bit, but it's not a full game, and he put a lot of work into it. Turned out great. I definitely think that someone needs to pick that up and turn it into something, and let this guy be in charge of that shit, because he clearly knows what he's doing. But let me know what you're feeling if you're a Star Wars fan, a big gamer. This probably would have you pretty excited just seeing the potential of something like this. Or maybe you're one of those people that only likes the old Star Wars stuff and you don't even like the new shows and you hate The Mandalorian. I doubt it, because it's really fucking good. But I know a lot of the Disney stuff's not what people were expecting. But The Mandalorian, I love it. It's so good. So watch that show if you haven't seen it. There's plenty of episodes. And then check out this concept. And maybe the more people that spread the word, the more likely it is it happens. But that's all I got for you today in the video. Thanks for watching. See you another one soon, people. Peace.